We're here on Forest Avenue where one of those 3 breaks are that the city of Jackson plans to start working on. Police say that the second person who was also shot isn't necessarily a suspect, but they're still trying to figure out what happened here and how he ended up in Louisiana. Crews have been keeping a close eye on the water rising, and as we get closer to the river cresting, they're starting to close some roads. It's hard to miss that problem just off of McDowell Road here. You can see it surrounded by cones placed here by the city. A judge denied bond for Tatiana Parker this morning after her initial appearance. It's been a short-lived celebration for the people living on Tyrone Drive. They say the road just got repaved and already it's looking like this. Yeah, Andrew, we're told that that truck is property of the city of Jackson's custodial division. We are in the serving area of the Gateway Rescue Mission. You can see the impact that hit had. We're told that a man was standing on the sidewalk outside of this building and he was hit by that driver who was traveling southbound on Gallatin Street. At this point, it is unclear what caused him to veer off of the road. Yeah, Byron, there has been a multi-agency search for Kingston Frazier all day today. His family telling us that the pain they feel now is indescribable.
He dead, man. They killed my boy, my yo. Man, they killed him, yo. They shot him, bro.
For hours, the family of Kingston Frazier searched and prayed for a positive outcome. What they heard instead was a tough pill to swallow.
Just to say that is just gut-wrenching. It's just the worst thing you could ever have to say. It's just awful.
Police found a child shot to death in the backseat of a car abandoned on a dead-end road in Gluckstadt. The car and child had been missing since around 1 Thursday morning.
This is the worst thing to wake up to. We've been looking for him for 9 hours.
His mother warned someone when she saw the car pulling off, and they were told they couldn't do anything until they had backup.
Kingston's mom told police that she went inside to get medicine for her children. She left her 6-year-old in the car with the keys inside.
It was an honest mistake. Kingston asked her to stay in the car. Maybe she had a lapse of judgment. That's not the point right now. But what we're saying is this is a 6-year-old that's gone.
You took a child, a 6-year-old little boy, and killed him when you could have just dropped him off. You could have left him at Kroger. You could have dropped him off on the side of the street anywhere. He knew his mother's phone number. He's dead, and you don't know what it feels like.
That family obviously hurting tonight. Kingston was in the 1st grade and was actually set to participate in a graduation ceremony today. Live in Jackson, Terrance Friday, WJTV 12.
Yeah, I gotta do what I gotta do.
When Lamont Patterson leaves for work each day, there's no guarantee that he'll even get there.
It's hard, but I just take it all in. You know, I say, you know, I got this job, I'm trying to keep it. So I work hard and I persevere.
That perseverance is what's gotten him back and forth from his home in Port Gibson.
I usually head out early walking.
To his job 25 miles away in Vicksburg.
And I walk to the last gas station, they call it Beasley's in Port Gibson, heading towards Vicksburg, and I'll, hitchhike, throw the thumb out, somebody, most of the time I catch a ride.
But there are times when that doesn't work out.
I've actually walked in the rain. I've gotten soaking wet and got to work.
The Army vet's daily commute is a mixture of walking long distances and riding with strangers.
I think other people are more frightened for me. Like my mother and my grandmother, they always talk about, you catching strangers up here, you don't know what could happen. I was like, I gotta get there.
Fellow veteran Whitney Harmon contacted News Channel 12 in hopes of getting his story out.
It's a horrible feeling knowing that you've served your country and now you can't get a ride to work. He's trying. There's a lot of other things that he could be doing in Port Gibson.
I gotta get to work.
But Patterson says for him, that easy way out approach was never an option.
It's out there. I can go do this. I can go sell drugs. I can go steal or this or whatever. But it's just not my choice to do that. I don't know. I was raised that way.
That good rearing is why he's so willing to sacrifice for his mom.
She's disabled. She gets my grandma also. She's real sick though. My grandma.
So regardless of his circumstances, he's still driven to succeed.
I wish I had decent transportation and some gas. I can go. I probably wouldn't even be doing this right now because I'd be looking for a second job.
Also interesting to note, he says he's only missed 2 days of work this past year, and Melanie and Byron, both of those were because of the weather.
What a story.
And CBS will be providing live coverage of Comey's testimony tomorrow morning starting at 9. Also for you today at 4, the trial date for Hinds County District Attorney Robert Schuler-Smith has been pushed back. The trial was initially scheduled for June 12th, but has now been moved to July 31st. Smith stood trial for 2 counts of conspiracy and 1 count of assisting an inmate in January. It was declared a mistrial when jurors could not reach a verdict. Smith was accused of trying to help an inmate, Christopher Butler, to get his charges dismissed. The case of an Alabama teen found dead in Mississippi has now been ruled a homicide. Brian Parker's body was found earlier this month in Greene County. The Mississippi River is expected to crest at the end of this week, and roads are already closing as we get closer to that date. The river is expected to crest at 48 feet, and today crews from the Mississippi Department of Transportation started the process of closing roads. All right, thank you, Ken, and glad you could join us today at Forum. Terrance Friday breaking news is first for you today. New York police say several people were shot inside of a Bronx hospital, and the gunman is now dead. Those shots were fired around 2:50 this afternoon. The shooter reportedly killed 1 person before turning the rifle on himself. Officials say he was wearing a lab coat with a gun hidden inside. The 120-year-old hospital has almost 1,000 beds inside, and its emergency room is said to be amongst the busiest in New York City. Also for you today at 4, Vicksburg police confirmed that a body was found on Military Avenue. According to the coroner, the victim is Anderson White III. The cause of death is still under investigation. Stay connected with WJTV in our later shows for updates on this story. A Jackson home goes up in flames twice in one night. It happened on Inglewood Boulevard, and the man who lives there says that the fire started around 9 last night. He and his girlfriend left the house, and the fire rekindled around 3 this morning. They are offering a $20,000 reward, you guys, for information that can lead to an arrest in this case. That owner says when he got that call earlier today, he thought his alarm went off because someone was trying to break in. They're actually closed now. Let's go to some of that video from earlier when we stopped by. You can see inside the damage to that store. That roof completely caved in. It has been tough for them, Byron, as they lay down that salt solution that helps keep the roads a little bit safer for us. More rain and sleet comes down and washes it away. Here's a look now at I-55. It's pretty much covered here in this area that we are in right now. MDOT started late last night and continued early into the morning treating the roads. The salt and sand solution is being added to melt the falling ice and add traction for drivers. The American Civil Liberties Union of Mississippi says that the Madison County Sheriff's Department has been targeting African Americans. The ACLU has filed a federal lawsuit now because of that claim. People came from all over the country to pay their respects to Deputy Durr. His loved ones say that outpouring of support is evidence of the impact that he's had on so many people. Well, it was a party with a purpose this morning in Smith Park. People came from everywhere to celebrate Mayor-elect Chokwe Antar Lumumba. The local defense attorney is set to take over office on Monday, and all weekend leading up to his inauguration, there will be events held in his honor. He's taking on a city that's facing several challenges, as we all know, and we talked to some of his supporters who say they know what he's inheriting, but they believe in him.